Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel over here at Broke Boy Gaming. And today's topic, we are going to be discussing the 2018 Game Awards. This is very exciting for us, I guess, in a way, because about a year ago, our first video was on the 2017 Game Awards, which is kind of like a little, hits the heartstrings there pretty hard. I don't know. Anyway, our last video we did for the Game Awards was not very good at all. You guys can look it up. It was total bullshit, hot garbage. Didn't know what I was doing editing wise. But
we weren't informed, didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
I like that.
Yeah, and I have people here with me today. We're
happy to have the quad core back together.
Anyway, Jared, before I was really interrupted.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm here with Devin, Jared, and Seth, the other Broke Boys of the team. How's everyone's day doing today?
I woke up, got in here, so my day is fantastic, sir.
A whole lot of eating.
A lot of eating.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep.
You know, Jared be cooking up the pasta. Yep. You know, we're all good.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, you guys just want to dive right in. We'll just first half of this podcast, everyone. It's been a while since we have actually done a podcast. Really quick, Devin and I have been on a movie spree here for a while.
Yes, you have
noticed on the channel. There's just so many movies coming out, man. It's amazing. You know, you can't pass it up. Cannot pass it up at all. Anyway, so for the first half of this podcast, we're going to be covering the Game Award nominees. We're not going to be doing every single nomination because that would just be ridiculous, crazy long anyway. So we're going to cover around 10 topics today. So let's just get into it and talk about the game of the year. There's a lot of heavy hitters this year, honestly. But so we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World. This is very random. And Red Dead Redemption 2. So, like I said before, all these are pretty good games. I've played 3 out of the 6, technically 4 if you count Monster Hunter for like 2 hours, and never really got back into it again. Yes, I literally made everyone buy this game and then didn't play it myself.
Facts, you did.
That's literally what happened.
But
I mean, I got it.
But to be honest, right?
For real.
I bought it because there's the one thing. It was in retaliation because I made Christian buy the Darksiders like.
He made me buy this Darksiders collection for my Xbox, and then
and then I made him buy it again for the PC.
Yeah, made me buy it again for PC. So yeah, thanks for that.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Okay, so,
but he liked it though. He liked it though.
Yeah. So that was kind of like a you owe me type of thing.
all right, Christian.
But
you go first. But what you thinking about this list?
All right, for Game of the Year, I've been thinking about this for a while now, and honestly, I don't want to say Red Dead. I'm just going to go God of War overall. It was a great game, great mechanics. This game came out of nowhere. Like, there was no rumors or anything about a new God of War game. And then Sony was just like, oh yeah, Santa Monica has been working on a new God of War. And it's amazing. And
for like 10 freaking years.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I mean, I like Red Dead, but like those controls are way too clunky. I love the story in Red Dead, but that was like the one thing that drew me in.
You can tell the controls are clunky by looking at gameplay. Like if you say you can't, you're lying.
Like it's just.
Now listen here, partner.
Now listen here, partner.
Like listen. Rockstar is phenomenal at storytelling, right? But they always have like clunky controls in their games. Like for instance, in GTA 5, you know how many times you would just be knocked over and you couldn't get up from like stupid things.
It's like 10 times worse, especially when you're on your horse.
And then I've seen videos like people running their horses straight up into rocks. Which
sometimes you can't see them. In defense, you cannot see them because you start off so fast, and then it's just like. And your horse is like,
I know that's why it's bad. So maybe they should do something, about the cameras. So you can actually see where you're going.
No, it's not even the camera. It's just that like you're not paying attention to how many like boulders and like I've ran straight into a tree before, man. I'm not even like hundreds of times. So I'm like, yeah, like let's go, and it's just like boom.
And you
I'm
kill
like,
your
wow.
horse, right? That's
Huh?
funny though.
Yeah, like
I-
it's funny to see because like when you trip, it's like a over the top trip.
Yeah,
And then you fall off
it
your
doesn't make
horse.
sense. It's always like that in every
I've killed a
Rockstar
few
game
horses myself.
I've ever played. For some reason, they've never fixed the ragdoll mechanics.
Because it's funny.
It is funny.
It's funny, but
it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like
it's
you
like,
can do
haha,
funny
we get
ragdoll
it.
without,
But like,
like,
seriously, fix this.
you
Like,
you could do funny ragdoll without like screwing up the gameplay.
yeah, but yeah.
Like-
So, like I said, God of War is mine. Seth, what about you?
Oh shit, I'm on the spot. Okay, so out of the nominations, right? See, I haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I have a personal disdain for the series, so I'm just gonna leave that one off. Monster Hunter World, I know I've definitely played it more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that it's my first Monster Hunter experience, I can't really say if it's Game of the Year or not, just because of the mere fact I've never played any of the previous ones.
Yeah, 'cause
But
they've all
it's
been
like I can see the appeal to it. You know what I'm saying? It is super grindy and stuff, but like at the same time, it's pretty like it's like the adventurer's game, I guess. Like
My guy,
going
what
off.
about that lip sync though?
I mean,
I'm
that's
going to talk about that. Hold on.
Okay.
let Seth finish and then we'll get to the next person.
the thing about the lip syncing, right? That's just present in Japanese games like that. Like you can't really avoid it.
And
You know what I'm
anime,
saying?
honestly.
So it's like, and also too, the narrative's not even truthfully that important in this game. It's all about collecting the monsters after you beat the shit out of them for 20 hours, and that's the whole thing about this game. So the narrative is really not that important. It shouldn't be that stressed upon with the lip syncing. Like, come on, dude.
I mean,
But
That is
anyway,
true.
so I say out of these options, the ones that I've played and the ones I just done my research on, I personally think it's going to be Spoderman.
Spider-Man. That was
Spider-Man.
my second choice.
Just because of the mere fact that even though like I said before, God of War was like, oh shit, I didn't even know they're gonna make a fourth one, and it was very phenomenal narrative. The gameplay was really smooth and clean. How it looked, how it presented itself in terms of like the boss battles. It's just like with this particular Spider-Man game, a lot of people can like argue that this has been it hasn't been a game like this since the second game. The second
Amen.
Spider. In terms of the narrative, in terms of doing these objectives, the web slinging, it has to be A1, and they perfected it. And it's Insomniac Games. For the most part, they don't make bullshit. Yeah, and Spider-Man was one of those properties that they had their hands on that they knew was like, okay, let's not fuck this up, and they did a pretty fantastic job. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I agree, especially with Insomniac Games, with given their history with Ratchet and Clank and Spyro. They've always had, like, I feel like Spider-Man was like the perfect superhero that they can kind of like joke around with, because he is a bit of a smart mouth at times, and I thought it was perfect. I'm playing through it again right now, just trying to go through a few of the little bit of the DLCs, but yeah, it's
right.
I respect.
I would say a couple more things before I hand it off to someone else. I liked the story, how they kind of made it go into like college or like post high school Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's like after college, I'm pretty sure.
The twist of Doc Ock in terms of him not just outright being the villain, like I said, he's like a person that he works with. I thought that was pretty cool. And the introduction of I forget his name. I think it's like the Negative Man or something like that.
Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
Yeah. I didn't know about him until this game, so I thought that his character in general is like pretty solid. I thought he's pretty interesting in terms of his powers, what he can do. Also, too, unlockables in this game, except for like truthfully completing like all the challenges, like getting the costumes is such a cool feeling. I feel that some games don't really focus too hard on that, especially if they're single player focused, because it's like, yeah, people want to play the narrative. People want to have solid gameplay and stuff, but like that magic of unlocking shit hasn't really been present in games as of late, because people don't really focus on it. And I liked how you got all these cool costumes for doing just this shit and that shit and just finding them or whatever. So I feel like I could have a blast of a time with this game, and I feel like that would be game of the year for my option in this category. So yeah.
That was well said. A lot of people, really quick, I've heard, like, they said this is like their favorite Spider-Man movie, like, in a sense, because the cinematic, like, the story is so amazing. But who wants to go next? Devin, I know you were eager to.
Yeah, you want to talk
eager
about
beaver there.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's start off. Assassin's Creed. That's cute. It's in here. Sure. It's got a 6% chance. Fine.
I agree.
I
Honestly.
agree with.
I did the numbers for him.
I mean, yeah, I'm over here crunching numbers in my calculator. So
All right, so we can breeze past that one real quick. What the fuck is Celeste?
It's an indie game made by
It's a very solid platformer that was made very quickly, and a lot of people like really like it.
It's
apparently.
essentially about a girl battling her inner demons because she has depression.
and
All
it's
right, I'm proud of you, Matt. But
And
this ain't
something
it,
about
Chief.
climbing
and
mountains.
it's so indie that the actual marketing and everything kind of wasn't even present. That's why
I remember seeing this shit somewhere.
really
I
weird,
think it was like looking at it through Steam when I was looking. All right, so what game do I want to buy? And I think this came.
Wait,
out.
it's on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a 10 out of 10 on Steam. Which
Oh, I might get it.
Like,
Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
but in terms of it being like, okay, I think this could be like the best.
Right.
indie
Anyway,
game
let's
possibly.
let Devin continue.
Yeah.
All right, God of War and Spider-Man. I will probably never play because Sony, and I don't have Sony, and don't want Sony.
Devin hates Sony.
I wouldn't say hate. It's just
He has
no
a
thanks.
distaste for them.
It's not like the PS2.
Trust issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure those two games are great, but I'll probably never play, so I can't really vote for those. Now, Monster Hunter World. I think it is asinine that this is even nominated for Game of the Year. The first 3 hours you're laughing at how bad the lip sync is, and it takes you completely out of the game. So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you voting for Red Dead?
Yes. This is my plea.
Yes.
This is my plea to Rockstar. Get the desert sand out of your ass. Win Game of the Year, and then make a Game of the Year edition for PC. Do it.
Do it, you cowards.
We need this glorious graphics on PC for this
I'm not
glorious
gonna
game.
lie. I have been seeing a lot of gameplay of this shit, and it looks hella fun with the online beta. Like it, you just like these two dudes went up on this roof, and this one guy was like looking through something. I don't know, and like they hog tie him, throw him over the roof, and hang him from the hog tie, and then shoot him in his head, and then bleed.
Yo.
I double dip for that. I buy it again for PC.
Yeah, I don't care about mods. You can take mods away, fine. That doesn't matter. Just give us the game. That's all I want.
It seems like the base game is solid enough where I don't need to mod the fuck out of it. So
Honestly, yeah. All right, Jared.
all right, Jared.
What
Oh,
is
jinx.
your vote for Game of the Year? Which one do you think will take home the gold?
I think God of War is gonna take home the gold.
You didn't say Assassin's Creed. Everybody.
Yeah.
Didn't
no,
say
I'm
it.
not,
God.
I'm not saying Assassin's Creed, honestly.
All right, explain why you think God of War is going to take them.
Explain yourself.
Because it's been extremely long since the last God of War, and I like mythological stories, just stories that have to do with mythology and stuff.
Right.
Like that. I also I think that God of War had an excellent had excellent creative direction in terms of the whole entire game being a single camera shot. I thought
Oh, yeah.
that's fucking phenomenal. Because like you remember, what was it? What was the movie we watched when we were in the basement with like the
I can't remember. I don't know.
There's too many like movies that have action scenes where it's just a single shot. Like there's the one scene at the end of like Daredevil season 1 where he's in the hallway. That's a single shot.
Rip.
Oh yeah.
Like, but God of War, the whole freaking game is a single shot. It's like that's all the combat, everything is just a single shot. It's freaking phenomenal. I love that. The narrative direction and approach are phenomenal. They set up all sorts of like not loopholes in the story, but like areas where you can analyze it, like to see where they're going to go in the future. Like the original plan for the God of War games was to make ancient Greece, ancient Norse and ancient Egyptian mythologies. That's what the original plan was. So after this one, I think they're probably going to make like another game in the Norse mythology or two, probably just one more, and then they're going to move on to Egyptian mythology. There's stuff in the lore about Kratos being. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil that for people. It's really good. The gameplay was phenomenal. It's just it fills you up with nostalgia while still being new. You know, because
I
like
like that.
the last God of War games that we played, that was literally 10 years ago. God of War 1 was 2005.
That's actually fucking insane to really think about it.
Yeah, it's like crazy. And then I think yeah, so that's why God of War is my pick. Now, in terms of I was gonna choose Spider-Man though, but like upon further analysis, Spider-Man doesn't have a very I mean, okay, the story is phenomenal, right? But it is you know where it's going from the beginning. If you yeah, it's very predictable. It's a great story, right? But it's not. There's no like twist of anything, right? You know what's going on the whole entire time, even if they don't really lay it in front of you. You know everything that's happening. Which works for it. I mean that's how comics are. But like yeah, it was great. The gameplay is phenomenal. I would say this is the best Spider-Man game since Web of Shadows.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, I kind of
like,
forgot about that
because Web of Shadows had its own story. This has its own story as well. So I think this is just phenomenal. Monster Hunter World, it wasn't very enjoyable. I mean, it was enjoyable, but it's too grindy, dude.
Yeah, like I don't mind grinding games, but like this was like the epitome of grinding. Like the way the armor system worked in terms of getting bonuses and stuff. I didn't like that shit. Like I had to basically have one set of armor. It's like, oh, this monster is weak to this shit, it's strong to this shit. It's like I gotta go back to the crib. Then I gotta
And there's
change
no
my whole
levels.
Yeah,
it was just weird. It was like kind of wonky. I mean, I did make my character Geralt of Rivia though, because
you did. That was pretty.
I made my Nightman from It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
uh,
I think I named mine like Bob.
character customization was on point though.
Yeah, really I did enjoy that for sure.
Now for Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar is phenomenal at making stories, but the problem here is that the mechanics, the controls are very they're very stiff. Like Rockstar's always had a problem where like when you start to run with your character, it's hard for them to slow down. Even though in real life, when you run, you can like do this little like you can like immediately reverse your run. There are ways to do it. There are animations, other games that do that.
Yeah.
So that it's just kind of like it just kind of bothers me because it's just weird. But I mean, it's great. It's Red Dead Redemption 2, but
Yeah.
from what I heard was that the story isn't very paced very well. But I mean that's okay. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's not my game of the year just because it's a success. It's a massive succession in the storyline. In order to understand it, you would have to have played all the other ones. Most people haven't. And it's also just at launch the game had different it has various voice acting problems in small scenarios in the game. And yeah, it's just I mean, it's really good. It's a huge ass game, but it's not my game of the year. I just think it's great. And Celeste is just it just kind of came out of nowhere. I think they just threw it on here because they were like, oh yeah, we need an indie title to be nominated for Game of the Year, even though this whole entire game was only made in 4 days. So I believe if this were to win Game of the Year, just that wouldn't be fair to all these other freaking like people that worked on these massive AAA titles that worked like their asses off like for years and years to produce a game that takes like 40 hours to beat or something, where Celeste is like 4 hours. Like come on. And yeah, those are my opinions.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. So the next we have really quick, best ongoing game.
Best ongoing.
These first two pain me.
Yeah, so we have Destiny. We have Destiny 2, Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay.
Really quick
So,
for me.
I want to start off.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
All right, listen, bro. This is why I don't fuck with multiplayer games.
Jared, just tell us who you think is gonna win.
Two skill boys.
The best
Run the
ongoing
time
game.
crunch.
The best ongoing game. All right, honest, probably Siege, just because people still play it and there's operators and all that stuff. Just like there's actual game design in it, whereas Overwatch it has been completely unbalanced at a lot of times. They keep having problems. No Man's Sky, it's just very barren still. I don't even know how that's really. No Man's Sky wasn't supposed to be ongoing, but it is now. So that's why I'm like, no. And then Fortnite, that's just cancer. Destiny 2 Forsaken is also kind of cancer. Matt owes everybody money except for me because I don't buy into that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah.
Be
So,
smart.
He owes me $10. Bought that shit on Humble Bundle.
So yeah, so I'm gonna say Rainbow Six Siege, but I don't really like. Okay,
That's fine. That's
yeah.
I mean, I don't really play any of these either. Like mine out of this list would probably be Siege as well, because from all the times that we have friends who play it. We have Seth.
Yeah, you guys are constantly going.
You got Ethan. So I mean,
you
there's switching back between the two.
You guys don't rage. You guys don't rage out of it as hard as you do with Overwatch. That's also why I'm like, yeah, this is good. So
the only person in the world that plays Destiny 2 is Matt. So whatever.
I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah. For me.
But anyway. You continue. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh. Yeah, for me, probably Siege. Just from what I've seen from everyone else playing, and the game kind of had a rough start when it first came out, but it's definitely gotten like 1,000 times better from what I've seen and from what I've heard other people say. So that would be my hat in the ring.
All right, so I'm gonna go next, right? So Destiny 2 Forsaken. I personally don't think that it's going to win, but they have added a lot of stuff to make the game playable outside of like just play for 2 hours and then you have to drop it. See, No Man's Sky, I don't think it would win purely because of the hate that it got in the beginning of its development or in its release, because of the dude lied about shit that was going to be in the game, or like he didn't say it was going to be in the release of the game.
Very misleading, yeah.
But they did update this game a shit ton since then. So like I understand why it's in this category. Yeah. Now, in terms of these three, I'm gonna tell you what I personally want and what I think. So what I personally want is most definitely going to be Siege, because this game came from release to now. It has effectively and steadily made progress to operators and also balance patches to kind of make the game seem like, okay, even though this guy's not picked a lot, he still has a place on the team, and the operators seem to be a bit more balanced when they were released. I know Ela, when she was first released, I remember her being overpowered as shit. Her gun had no recoil, and she has like these like not necessarily EMP, but like stun grenade things that she can just place on any surface, and she had 4 of them. She was overpowered as fuck. But then they patched her up, and now she's more balanced, and she's not necessarily the pick to go to anymore, but like she's also still effective. So I want my personal taste in these options. Rainbow Six Siege is gonna win. Who I think is gonna win is Fortnite. Now let me tell you why.
I agree.
Even though this game is complete and utter ass cancer and bullshit, Fortnite and Epic Games have steadily kept putting content and stuff into this game to the point where there's like 5 seasons of shit to put in this game. Like my brother plays it all the time, so I'll talk to him about it and shit. And I was watching the game, and it's like I remember playing this, when it was a joke, and they weren't gonna do anything with it. And they've updated the map, they've updated weapons, characters, fucking mechanics in the game, building mechanics, even down to how the shit looks. I mean, like, I know it has like the Betamax Xbox in there, but it plays 60 no fucking problem. So like, I think just because of the mere fact that Epic Games has literally poured their heart, or lack of heart and lack of soul into this game, I think it's gonna win because they actually did keep up with the game after its release and put in a lot of shit into it.
Also, I have to agree with you. So yeah, like because we were talking about personal picks versus the realistic pick.
Yeah,
it had Big Daddy. It had Big Daddy Thanos in it too.
Yeah, they did. That was
Big
really
Daddy
good.
Thanos.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a great. And John Wick, yeah, no.
And John Wick, that's right.
All right, Devin, what do you think is gonna win out of this?
It's gonna be Fortnite.
sounds so disappointed. He's like,
one of my
"Man, I want
roommates is
to-
trying. Well, actually, all my roommates are trying to get me to download it, and I keep resisting. I downloaded it once on my PlayStation, but I didn't go into it. I was like, no, I can't do this, so I just
It's like
deleted it.
because I would just because the mere fact that I play Overwatch a lot, I would totally pick it. But like right now, it's going through a little bit of a crisis because of the fact that balancing is such a huge issue, and they're like literally butchering characters trying to make the game balance. Where it's just like, that is a problem.
For
but
Overwatch
also,
or Fortnite?
no, for Overwatch,
Okay.
like I would have picked it personally, but like
Mhm.
it has a bad problem, at least on PC, with like the bouncing issues,
Mhm.
and also it's the general parry base is just shit. So like I don't know how they would fix it. You can't really fix people, but like need to do something. I don't know. Like
I also want Overwatch to win, but it's just not going to because
mm-mm.
it didn't win last year.
Yeah, it was already something in 2016. It was somehow
Oh
Game
yeah,
of the Year
yeah, yeah.
2016.
It did win Best Ongoing Game last year. I remember that.
They just haven't been coming out with anything new recently, except
Best
for
ongoing game 2017
Euros.
and 2016 when it came out. It was voted as Game of the
Right.
Year by the critics, and then
Well, no, I was saying for
everybody
last
else.
year it was what best voted.
I mean,
best
no,
ongoing game.
yeah, but I'm saying like this would be the third year in a row that it gets something. So I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah.
The events have become too stale.
Yeah, and we
the
have to remember
Euros-
that the Game Awards aren't that old. I think the first one was 4 years ago. So it like the Game
pretty
Awards in
sure.
general is not that old to begin with. So like,
Alright.
they're still finding their footing. But so Devin, you said Fortnite? You think? All right, Jared, what do you think really quick?
What already said.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
fine.
already said Siege. Wait, I was the first one.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
he
Yeah, that's
did-
right. He went first. Oh my god, I'm so
Got him.
I'm
All right.
bugging out. Anyway,
best game direction.
Game
Awarded to-
direction.
Yeah.
We have A Way Out, Detroit Become Human,
It's a
God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2. So
Mm.
who wants to go first?
Yeehaw.
Let's let Devin go
All right,
first.
Devin.
That was my answer. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Red Dead.
I'm gonna vote for Red Dead. I'm voting for Red Dead for every category it's in, so I can plead Rockstar to put it on PC.
Makes
Yes,
sense.
you have my vote, Rockstar. Do the work.
Vote.
Okay, I guess I'll go first in an actual legitimate answer.
Oh, it's legitimate. Rockstar's listening right
It's
now.
like Devin, what's your yeehaw? All right.
So I think personally, out of these, in terms of what it says under the thing, awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So innovation in game direction and design is going to be probably A Way Out, just because of the way they made that game played, where it's like, okay, you're this dude over here, which is one guy, and then you're this guy over here who's in the pen. So basically, it's like Prison Break, the video game.
Right.
And but like I love
It
Prison Break.
is.
Like it was such a really good series in my
Mhm.
opinion. I always thought like when it first came out, I'm like, how the fuck is this gonna work? And it's really cool on how they made it so it's like you work in tandem, but you're also in two different ass places at the same time in terms of the narrative of the story.
Mhm.
Now, whether or not that jives well with players, I personally do not know. But me personally, I enjoy the shit out of this.
Mhm.
And I think if we're going down to like the nitty gritty of what this category means, I think A Way Out has it.
I
So
gotcha.
that's yeah.
I'll go really quick. I mean, the obvious answer probably would be God of War for me, but I did start playing Detroit Become Human, and I wow. You know what? I'm just gonna say A Way Out because that actually was a really good answer.
Mhm.
As much as I don't care for the game, it is a totally new, outlook on how you play because you need someone else to play this game with you. It's not like, oh, you can go into a multiplayer game and play by yourself or just play like a single player game by itself. Like, no, like this is a co-op, like this is a team based game. Just
It's in the mechanics.
it's literally in the mechanics. So yeah, A Way Out will be my vote as well. Jared.
Well, so it's awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
Yeah.
So, in terms of creative, I'm like torn apart between A Way Out and God of War because
That was my
it's
second
different
pick. Yeah.
because it's two different things. So yeah, this is it's a very the game direction is I would say is very interesting. The creative vision, I mean, yeah, they're both up there. They both have unique creative direction, vision, and design. Like they both have like their own unique shit. But I think A Way Out has a little bit more, because it's one thing to make a game in single shot, but at the end of the day, it's like the God of War is just an action game. At the end of the day, it's just an
Right.
action game that has a mythology that has a story that's based off of things that already exist.
True.
Right. And it's not entirely original. It builds on the basis of its past stories in addition to other mythologies, right? But this is A Way Out is completely original, so I think it would be A Way Out. Also, it's crazy what they did with it.
It really is. Hazel Light Studios, bravo. You
Hey,
guys did an amazing
also,
job.
do you remember when that dude came up on stage and he was drunk as hell for his that was lit. I want to see him again.
Yeah, he was he was crazy. He was some crazy stuff. Yeah, and Devin already went because he said yeehaw.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, so on to best narrative. We have Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange Episode 1, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2. I'm assuming we know Devin's answer.
this is
Yeah.
Life is Strange 2.
For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. You know what? I'm actually touring between Red Dead, Spider-Man, and God of War for this because, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, I liked Red Dead's story, but it was a little bit off pace, and it seemed to be it drug on a little bit too long for me to the point where I was just waiting for it to be over. But it was a great game, loved it. But knocking that out between Spider-Man and God of War, because I just started playing Detroit Become Human, so I can't really make that nomination or my own choice. Like I said earlier, like with Marvel Spider-Man, like that was like the perfect, like you could take that entire game and make it into a freaking movie. Like it was amazing. I loved it. But like I'm gonna go with God of War just because I like, Greek mythology and Norse mythology started, it's with this game, and it's just you honestly, I don't want to spoil it for anyone because it just came out earlier in the year, but like you literally just have to play it, and the stories that they tell within the game itself are just very interesting to me. So, and where God of War is heading, definitely had to choose God of War. As much as I wanted to use Spider-Man, I'm gonna have to choose God of War. It's tough.
All right, so I'm gonna go next.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think, out of these options, the Detroit Become Human as my pick.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the narrative, now, I do understand that there were because there's 3 characters that you can play. There's the guy, the person with the old dude, the one with the detective, and then there's the other. I've barely watched stuff in this, and I have played it a little bit, but I think the mere fact that this game has branching narratives depending on choice,
it's really good so far from what I've played. Yeah,
like for that alone, and also for the fact that it kind of touched down topics on like humanity and the question of like, oh, you're just named blah blah blah. I think with that towing against like God of War, Spider-Man, and Red Dead, and then Life is Strange, which is purely just narrative. So like
literally, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really too keen on the first one because I don't really like stuff like that, but I think that Detroit Become Human has enough to grab attention because it has 3 people and then like their own, branching out endings or whatever from that. And also too, the marketing for this game, that's just a side note, but the marketing for this game, I remember this shit. I was like, man, I want to get this so bad. It was just like PS4. I'm like, yeah.
He was like, no.
In my personal opinion, because this game's had enough time to breathe, and people have definitely played this game and such, I think Detroit Become Human has my vote. And I think that's honestly the person, or not person, but the game that's going to win. So, Quantic Dream Studios.
Well done. Well done.
Yep. Yep.
All right. No, sorry, not Devin. Jared. Jared.
So to qualify for best narrative, says they have outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, right? So because of that, I think Detroit Become Human would win because of the narrative development. You have 3 different narratives that have branching decisions within the narratives.
I think I killed the girl in that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Spoilers.
I need to go back. I think I killed her. I think I let her die. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
so like, yeah, it's just outstanding. And narrative development, right? It's like a lot of these games where you can make decisions early on. The decision right then and there may seem good, but then in the long run it'll be really bad. So you don't know. But that's why these type of that I think it has the best narrative development and storytelling would be Detroit Become Human. God of War, it's the same story.
It's a continuation.
It's a continuation. However, because of the implications of it, it is way more mysterious than other previous God of Wars. So I could understand why somebody would vote for it. In terms of Spider-Man, like I said earlier, the Spider-Man story was it plays like a movie, but it's not like a mindfuck movie.
Right, yeah. It's not
like God of War is like a mindfuck at the end, kind of a little bit. Not much, but it's enough.
Yeah. Spider-Man definitely got me hyped. It's not like the Telltale games, obviously, not that cinematic experience. Just
and for
and
for Red Dead Redemption 2, it's just like they keep doing this thing where they have you do pointless tasks and objectives that look like they fit into the story, but it ultimately doesn't. But it ultimately doesn't make sense because if your character is who he is, you wouldn't need this type of help. It's just it's very strange.
Yeah, but, there was a lot of those.
Yeah, so I think it's Detroit Become Human. It's just solid. There's no loopholes or anything.
All right,
great,
fair enough. All right, guys, on to the best multiplayer game. Hold on here. Sorry, I accidentally exit out of this thing. Best multiplayer game. What's multiplayer? I feel like it's going to be... Okay, so we have Call of Duty, COD 4, Destiny 2, Fortnite, Monster Hunter World, Sea of Thieves? What? I did not see that there. Holy crap.
Sea of Thieves was in there.
I didn't know that was in there. I did not know. Wow, Microsoft really...
This is low-key kind of like a meme category.
You see, the funny part about Sea of Thieves is that the first word is also the grade it gets from everybody.
It's a $60 game too. That is true.
It's $20. If anyone else doesn't want to volunteer, I think I'll go first.
Go ahead. You're good.
Now, this is also another one where I think that I have one that I want to win and one that's going to win. In terms of multiplayer, let's go look at the things. For outstanding multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre. I think, my personal opinion, Black Ops 4 is going to call it. Now, I have not played this game, no way how, but I cannot get rid of this shit off of my YouTube feed or anything like that.
Same.
So it's like people are really enjoying the game. People who I follow who like play fighting games, you know what? I want to play Black Ops 4, and then like they play it for like 2 hours straight. And the multiplayer is a bit different. You can't really ask COD to do much in terms of their multiplayer direction. Like they'll add some new things, but Treyarch has always done their multiplayer, in my opinion, the best out of the other studios. I think there's more now instead of Infinity Ward, but they decided to make this one a little bit slower, I guess, in terms of decision making, where it's like, okay, now I have to actually make a decision to just go out, shoot them, die, repeat.
Right.
Because the health the health packs in this game were like, you like basically, it's not like a static health regen anymore. It's like, okay, you get shot, 50 health. You're at 50 health until you heal yourself. So it's like,
that's good.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like competitive aspects and like just kind of close quarter stuff, it's kind of like, oh shit, okay, should I go kill him? Should I go heal? Should I do this ability? I do have to say that they kind of did rip a little bit off of the operator aspect in Siege in terms of like giving other people abilities like shields and stuff like that. But they kind of had the ability thing locked down ever since Black Ops 3. But then in Black Ops 3, they kind of did copy off of Destiny. So I don't know, but it works in this instance. Also, to my knowledge, Black Ops Battle Royale is probably the best
That's what I've
out of the ones
heard.
that are
Yeah, I was
available.
actually gonna
A
say
lot of
that.
people have given a lot of positive reception on this particular battle royale, even though it's in this COD you have to pay $60 for it. Fortnite's free. However, this one is definitely worth doing and playing over Fortnite because it's just like the COD mechanics are smooth and buttery. The gameplay is really nice, and
Yeah.
they really. I mean, I'm no game design expert or whatever like that. I've never done anything in game development, but it seems like with what they had already for engine and mechanics and such, it was very it was basically destined to be in this game, and it has done very well. Zombies, on the other hand, is more as convoluted as it always has been, but it seems to be people have given it a little positive reception, but not really like, oh, this is the greatest one because like I said before, it's just always so complicated and you do this and that, this and that. For just a horde game, it's just like meh.
Yeah.
But I think Call of Duty would take it. Who I think is actually going to take it is Fortnite, unfortunately, because
Yeah, I
of
was gonna say the
everything that I
same
just
thing.
said about the previous one we were talking about, the best ongoing game can literally be applied to this.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
what I was thinking too. I'm like, they kind of go hand in hand. But yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah,
But I think who's gonna win Fortnite, who I want to win, is Black Ops. So
yeah.
that's
I'm gonna have to side with Seth. I think I would like Black Ops for the win, but I think Fortnite's gonna win overall. So that's my take right there.
I will also be picking Black Ops 4. I think it has the most to offer for a multiplayer game. You get the base multiplayer you can play, you get the battle royale, and you get zombies. It's just a lot to work with.
Yeah,
it really is.
Same here. So I mean, you guys trying to vote for it or?
yeah, because
I want-
I've been
No,
considering.
no.
I'm actually been considering
Yeah.
buying it for a little while
Like,
now. Everyone's
yeah.
been saying how good it is.
The voting is still up, even though we have. Yeah.
Oh
they
yeah,
have,
I mean, yeah. So
yeah.
all right, so we agreed on that one. Yeah, we're about
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
40 minutes in. So next one, fighting games, really quick. Seth, I
No
know
one
this-
else should speak.
I mean, I'm just. I mean, I know the. Oh my god, freaking the nominations.
The nominations are Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. You got Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Soul Calibur 6, and Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition.
Why'd you cough there?
Because fuck Capcom.
Yeah.
Particularly in this instance of Street Fighter 5, it's fucked them so hard.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do a quick vote really fast here. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, because it's from what I've seen so much gameplay. Looks like literally the perfect Dragon Ball fighting game.
It really is, honestly. It has the correct amount of competitiveness and also just all around fun. Like especially because you get 3v3 type shit. It's real good.
The game
I
that
think
we
I would
should have
also
gotten forever ago.
I think I would also choose Dragon Ball Fighter Z as well, just because they also interject their own characters into the game that are new to the whole entire Dragon Ball series. I think that's kind of creative,
Right.
as well. And like I appreciate that. Like video games don't have to just be based off of their source material. You're allowed to interject your own shit as long as it fits. I'm fine. It's actually better than fine. It's great if you can make that.
Yeah, I'm
All right,
gonna...
What do you take?
Red Dead Redemption Brawl bar fights.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let him. Yeah, we'll let him have that one.
So I think personally, I only played Cross Tag a little bit, and it's just another tag battle game. I mean, I do like the Blaze Blue universe, but like they incorporated like the Ruby characters and some other universes I'm not really too familiar with, and it does the game well, but like it's kind of just there. Arc System games are not bad by any means. Arc System does their games really well because they also did Dragon Ball Z Fighters, so. And also they do the Guilty Gear series.
True.
Arc System is very solid in their video games in terms of fighting games, but like I think who takes the show here is going to be Dragon Ball Z Fighters, just because of the mere fact that the combat is technical and not at the same time. You can totally like get someone in a 0 to 100% damage combo if you can set it up correctly. You can also just press X a bunch of times and do combos. Like it appeals to both casual and super ass competitive. Might I also add to the way this game looks by itself could get a nomination. Like they did such a beautiful job with the visuals and
Shot
like how
for
you
shot from the freaking
right,
manga too. It's in the
right.
show. It's like
Like
there's never been a better fighting. Oh my god!
remember when Vegeta and Nappa and like Vegeta's like, all right, I don't need you, Nappa, no more. It's like he like like from that frame where he's like taking his hand and helping him up, and then he just throws him in the air.
Yeah.
Like just, that's literally frame for frame how classic Vegeta does that move in this game. It's literally the same shit. So they paid so much attention to detail to the source material, even down to like you can do like these finishers where like if you're in a certain area or a certain arena and you have certain characters, it sets off a different, instead of you just dying, it sets off the cinematic. Like if you're in space with Frieza and you beat Frieza with Bardock, he actually, instead of him dying from like the supernova, he actually goes Super Saiyan. Now that's not canon, but it's like everyone loved that shit. And there's also the other way around too. If you beat Bardock with Frieza, it's the same shit where like he just
hold up, bro. Bardock goes, hold on, I gotta look at this.
Yeah.
Look at it later because we got to get through this crap.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z Fighters in terms of best game design, primarily my head-to-head combat, has my vote. Soul Calibur 6. I love the game, but it's just centered around the character creation, and it ruins hitboxes and the actual frame data because when you make characters, it shifts that shit. And I don't know why they did that for ranked mode. Like it makes sense for casual matches, but you can create characters in ranked. I don't know if they fixed it yet and taking it out because I think that's bullshit. But I know. And also too, just in general, the game's mechanics, even though it has like the 8-way directional movement shit, I don't personally think that that's too good of a game to have competitively. But I still love the game though. I love the game. Street Fighter, fuck Street Fighter. This game has kind of put a huge bad taste in people's mouths with Street Fighter. I know when the game first came out, even like in terms of the gameplay, it was just kind of like catering to like more casual and people who were like super competitive people of Street Fighter since like Street Fighter 2 or 3 or Alpha or whatever. They're like, nah, I can't play this game because like it just caters to the casual player, like someone who literally doesn't know shit. Like that one time where the one dude, I don't forget his name, but he played Lupe Fiasco. Like when this game first came out and Lupe Fiasco was whooping his ass, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. And then they had the nerve to like the whole like season pass shit where it's like, oh yeah, this is like $30 and it's like 8 characters, this one's 20, it's like 6 or whatever. Like it's so fucking scummy. And then like you buy this version of the game, it's like, oh, you expect it to be like all the characters. And it's like, no, it's only this first 2 seasons. And the 3rd season by itself is like $30 or $40. And I'm pretty sure they're making a 4th one. So it's just like, nah, they're doing this shit where they're releasing 6 versions of Street Fighter 5 again. So I'm not for it. So my vote is for Dragon Ball Z Fighters, basically. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. We can breeze over the best role playing game really quick because honestly, no one here.
There's 4 or no, they're all JRPGs. What the fuck?
I'm just gonna say Octopath Traveler really quick because I played the demo.
Yeah, I have played
my Switch.
Octopath Traveler. I had to give this one the dub.
It's a lot of fun. It's really good. The story is really good too.
It's 8 different stories with 8 different characters, 8 different ways to play the game, and some stories are lighthearted, some are really dark. For instance, like the dancer, I played her first, and I'm like, God damn, she's basically like being pimped. So I don't like this one, but it's also like, you know, pretty cool that like there's narratives like that in this game.
All these others I don't think none of us have even played. I mean, this Monster Hunter World, but we touched on that so many times already. Dragon Quest XI's in there, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath, and Pillars of Eternity 2. Sorry, Xenoblade Chronicles didn't make it in. I mean, it's really not that popular here.
I mean, there's a game out there where you can role play as a cowboy.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised Dragon Quest XI got in there too, but yeah, Octopath. Yeah, we'll just skip over that one, kind of, sort of. Best action adventure game. I feel like some of these are a little bit repetitive because it's literally everyone from Game of the Year minus Celeste and adding in Shadow the Tomb Raider. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider in itself. My vote's God of War.
Well,
Just really quick, God of War is mine.
That's not mine.
That's not mine either.
All right, then what are yours?
Well, Jared, you go first.
Just don't go like too long because we're already hitting we have like 10 minutes left.
Sure.
I want to get to the next part of this.
Best action adventure is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
It's there because all the gameplay mechanics are so much more expansive than the shit that's in God of War. Even in Spider-Man, it's just it's maybe not even Spider-Man. Hold on, that's like a toss up between Spider-Man and in terms of the gameplay, because it's best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Yeah, so you said Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'm saying Assassin's Creed Odyssey. However, I would understand if somebody said Spider-Man because of the traversal. So God of War doesn't really have any traversal. It's very linear. It's a very linear game.
Man,
I mean,
Spider-Man's puzzles aren't that tough.
Yeah, they're not that tough. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has puzzles that are really tough.
That's fine.
Even so. I mean, I've really fucks with that. And traversal. So it's a giant ass open world. Spider-Man, it's an open world, but it's very small. You only have Manhattan Island, which is relatively small for a AAA video game, but it's really good for Spider-Man. In terms of traversal, that shit was just you feel like Spider-Man.
Literally every single journalist ever
they all say
played that game covered it.
You feel like Spider-Man, but in terms, So I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey fits all. What was that? All like 4 of those criteria. That's why I put it in.
All right, sounds good. Moving on. Seth.
Hold up. So Seth's gotta do it. Yeah.
I think my pick out of this one's gonna be Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hold on. No,
I heard it's a great game. Yeah.
Because it's a really good game that from what I've seen, and also too, you got to think Tomb Raider kind of like set off the whole 3D
genre,
action adventure puzzle solving. You should really think about it. Back to the fucking trapezoid titties and shit. Like I remember playing that game, even though the mechanics were horrid, the visuals were trash. But like you gotta think about like how that set off like the not this one, but the first remake of the Tomb Raider series, and that game was like phenomenal, including this one as well.
There's Tomb Raider Underworld. That one.
Literally the whole universe is centered around traversing terrain and puzzle solving because she goes into dungeons and shit.
Yeah, so you can't traverse anything until you solve a puzzle.
Right. And the combat is there enough to the point where it's like, okay, I get it. So I think my opinion, I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider has it. So
all right. Let's Oh yeah, Devin. He said Red Dead. Sorry.
No, wait. Howdy.
Wait. No, Devin has another opinion.
Howdy, partners. I'm choosing Tomb Raider.
Oh,
Tomb
Tomb
Raider.
Raider.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I had to mix it up a bit. I actually have been playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it's very enjoyable and looks amazing.
It does.
I got you. All right. The next topic, really quick, is best
voice performance.
Yeah, but it's under best performance online. I just put best performance.
Okay.
So for this, we have Brian Dechart played Connor in Detroit Human. We have Christopher Judge who played Kratos in God of War. Melissa Nathi Moons Cassandra.
I got you.
The lady who played Cassandra in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah,
and Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption. And then Yuri
Lowenthal as Peter Parker.
AKA
Fuck out of here,
Sasuke.
Fuck out of here. You ain't winning this shit.
Hey.
Ugly ass.
All right, I'm gonna put him up real quick. I gotta give it to Christopher Judge.
Facts.
Kratos' voice, you can't beat that shit. Come on.
I would say it's the most iconic voice in video game history.
Come on, man.
Whoever plays Kratos just wins it.
Fucking badass. That dude landed a golden role of Kratos. Like, I'm so glad they found this dude. Like,
so that's 2 for God of War.
Yeah.
Really quick, I want to tip my hat off to Roger Clark and Yuri for their respective roles as playing Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Roger Clark playing Arthur Morgan, because he did a really good job as well. But my vote would also be Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
This is
Well,
clean sweep.
clean sweep around the board. Christopher Judge.
And the last but not least, we're just doing one more.
Best score in music.
Best score in music. Here, really quick. This one. Sorry.
What is that under, dude? Oh wait, never mind. Here it
Best
is.
score in music.
That was so weird. My control.
Presented by Spotify.
Presented by Spotify. So we have Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Octopath Traveler, Nino Kuni 2, and Yellow Feller, Red Dead Redemption. I forgot the other part.
It's Red Dead Redemption.
You know what? It had a very interesting soundtrack overall. There were songs in there that just.
It's a very unique soundtrack.
I personally liked Octopath Traveler a lot better.
It was that was very mesmerizing. Devin, what do you? Oh, never mind.
Tumbleweeds.
Sorry about that. Really quick for me, I'm actually gonna give this a Spider-Man, because it's just every single time you're getting off, you're swinging around. It's like, let's fucking go. Like, it was, I don't know. It was great. I loved it.
It was very
good.
God of War is very quiet throughout the majority of the game, but Marvel's. I just loved it. It's like, as soon as you're jumping off the building, like, the music automatically starts playing as soon as you're swinging around the city. I just loved it. So yeah, that's my pick. But for all you listeners at home, those are the all the nominations that we decided to go through. There's a lot more on there. We'll put a link in the description down below so that you guys can vote yourself. We didn't necessarily vote ourselves. We kind of just, as we said earlier, went through all these to figure out our personal opinions. But I just wanted to take maybe like the next 10 minutes really quick to talk about a few hot takes or a few announcements that are going to be happening towards the Game Awards. So apparently there's supposed to be around 10 announcements that will be premiering. The Russo brothers are supposed to supposedly make an appearance. Borderlands 3 is supposedly teased, and maybe we'll see Death Stranding in general, because I think Walmart Canada screwed the pooch again with that. And sorry to all the people out there, really quick, that Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Splatoon 2, and Smash Brothers did not make any of the nominations in general.
That makes sense, because at least for Smash.
For Smash, it does. Splatoon came out.
Splatoon 2 is like,
yeah, I can't.
Nintendo's online is too shit to support multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ethan and Fomar made it kind of a case for that game, and it was just like, yeah, it was fun, but yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles, I know a lot of people on Twitter that I know really like that game. It's just, it doesn't do anything for me. It's just another random RPG that looks like JRPG, excuse me, that looks like every other Valkyria Chronicles out there, and it's like, I can't really distinct the characters unless you're JRPGs in general are very niche genre to get into, and there's only a few that I like, and when I say a few, I mean Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts, and that's like it. So for me at least. But really quick, do you guys have any quick predictions that any announcements that you would like to see?
At
the Game Awards?
The Russo brothers are there because they're going to. They teased an Avengers video game a long time ago, so they're probably.
I remember that shit.
Yeah,
they're probably actually going to have the game game. They might have gameplay or at least an actual trailer, not a teaser.
Maybe
or Avengers 2 trailer.
Yeah, Avengers 4. Let's go. That's what I'm really hoping for, to be completely honest with everyone here. And yeah.
For me personally, I'm anticipating something about the next Mortal Kombat. I want something because the NetherRealm Studios kind of broke their cycle of every 2 years for a new game, and I think that a trailer would be due. If not, they're probably working really hard on a new game, because 2 years for like Mortal Kombat, like the last Mortal Kombat, even though I love the game, I love Mortal Kombat X. Visually and mechanic wise, it's very dated now because that game came out in 2015, and I think if they were to have at least like a trailer or something like proof of concept, whatever, I would be totally fine with it because like I need Mortal Kombat right now.
I need
I'm
it
very
in my
satisfied
life.
with the fighting games that I have, but like Mortal Kombat is like the shit that made me play video games. Like I need that. I need something. You know what I mean? Like whether or not
Right.
it be like an actual mainline Mortal Kombat game or if it's gonna be like something like Shaolin Monks, like I don't really care. I just need to see something. So I'm anticipating that because they didn't do shit for E3. So
Facts.
that's what I'm anticipating. And also, yeah, the Borderlands 3.
Oh,
They
yeah.
released
Please make that come
yeah.
true.
the
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
VR Borderlands
Oh
2.
my
Are you
God.
serious? You're gonna do that shit before Borderlands
That
3?
makes me so angry.
Right.
If
It is a
anyone
little
remembers,
disappointing.
Their
anyone
whole
remembers
company-
last year in this video, I had a bold prediction that Borderlands 3 would be teased last year's Game Awards,
Right.
and they spent all this year making fucking Borderlands 2 VR.
For the
I hope that shit
PlayStation.
fails. I hope that shit makes no money. Fuck you, Gearbox.
Yeah. But also give us Borderlands 3.
Yes, now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you heard it from the peanut gallery here,
Wait.
folks.
Wow.
But no.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
I think we might see that's regarding Borderlands 3.
I mean, just whatever you would like to see at the Game Awards.
It's not what I like. I mean, I would like to see, just everything, but like what's realistic is like
This doesn't
okay,
matter.
so
I mean,
I
this
think
is all speculation.
we might have another thing in terms of what Rocksteady's been working on. I feel like it's going to be an Arkham Origins sequel, is what they've been working on.
That would be lovely.
There was a
because
rumor that
they're
they were supposed to
to.
start a Superman game, but then they quickly
Yeah,
shut
well,
that
no,
down.
yeah, they
But
shut
that doesn't
down.
necessarily mean because like
I-
game developers do that all the time. Like,
Well, I
even-
mean, no, but I don't think they would even do because Superman games in the past, just judging by.
I mean, yeah, that's in the past though.
like,
but I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
it
God,
it
don't say
doesn't work.
Superman.
It doesn't.
That's Superman
doesn't work.
64.
Superman
Don't stop.
returns.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I know
I-
what you mean.
I think that's one, and then I also think that I hope Bethesda addresses what the fuck is going on.
They
There's
need to do
nothing
that
they-
on their
There's
own
nothing they can
time.
say.
I know there's nothing they can say, but like, I just hope they attempt something. Also, I would
Just
like
give
to
us
see
Elder
Yeah,
Scrolls
yeah,
6 for
what?
free.
okay. The main thing though, I want to see a Cyberpunk 2077 release date trailer.
Dragon Age is also supposed to be rumored there as well.
Dragon Age 4?
Something.
They're probably gonna have a teaser. for it.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to see as well. And one quick thing I would actually like for them to see myself, this is just a little bit of a personal thing. They need to release the other Kingdom Hearts games on Xbox because I personally don't understand why they are releasing Kingdom Hearts 3 for the Xbox One. A lot of Xbox players probably haven't played Kingdom Hearts, and if they have, they probably maybe played a little bit of the first one. But like, what is the point of putting not even
probably-
technically the third installment? This is like the 9th game of the entire series. There's just so much going on. What is the point of putting that on a console if you're not going to release the other previous games? Because people are going to be so lost if they do this. Like, I just don't understand. But that's just me. I don't know. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a teaser because I think that's very important. You can't just throw someone in. Like, that's like throwing someone into Lord of the Rings, like on Return of the King and expecting them to just know everything. It just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, CD Projekt Red did the same thing, and we don't really bag on them for that. In terms of Witcher 2 was never for the PlayStation 3.
I mean, yeah, but that's one game versus there's literally 7 or 8 other games that are on PlayStation that I have right now that they can easily port over. So it's like, it's possible, but I don't know. And also,
it's all right.
Huh?
I was about to say, it's all right. If you guys know PCSX2, we're not endorsing it, but you can use it to hypothetically play.
Oh, I'm endorsing
games.
it.
You can hypothetically use it. I'm not saying
I don't
you
even
do.
know what that shit is. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a PS2 emulator.
I know what it is.
Oh shit!
All you gotta do is buy the PlayStation Classic. You're good. No, don't do that.
Don't do that. We don't endorse that.
Waste of $100. That thing was so rushed. Really quick, I wanted to ask you guys. So I know that since Smash Brothers in general will not be there, there's been a lot of talk of people saying that the Game Awards should have a new cutoff date, as in it should start like early in the year, January, and cover all the games that came prior to.
I entirely agree with that, because how are you gonna have a Game Awards for that year, and even though like at the beginning of the last month, when there's still games that come out like later in the month, like when was
Red Dead came out like towards the end of October.
I'm talking about like what games are coming out in this month. I actually got to look that up.
None,
because that's no, there are games.
Besides Smash Brothers, there's like nothing.
There's
Just Cause 4.
Override, Mech City Brawl comes out in 2 days.
The what to the who?
Override, Mech City Brawl.
Sorry, I
Fighting
didn't hear
game
you.
jargon.
That looks so much
just
fun. I'm finna about the cop, and I'll let y'all know how it is. All right.
Sounds good. I don't know. It's just, for me, I feel like a lot of these games normally come out in November, and people do a lot of their shopping November, December, and it's like December 7th, even for Smash Brothers. That's such a strange time to release a game. It's like, oh, okay, like you don't really think about it, because not a lot of games normally come out in December, so I kind of understand why they do it. Maybe they should have it. I guess they would. Maybe they should have it like the first, second week in January.
So Just Cause 4 is coming out. Like that probably would have won action adventure game, but because it's coming out on December 4, 2 days before the VGAs, it's not going to win.
But I mean, it'll be,
and it's not
going to
be.
It
might not be. That's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like there's no way that they would just like completely ignore, especially Smash Brothers, like not being there the following year, because they're so late in the year. They might be on a different like release window date than what we're used to, because we literally think from like January 1 to December 31st every single game that came out that year. They might be on a different like quarter, whatever timeline in general, but I don't think that they would just like, oh well, Smash Brothers won't be there next year because technically it came out in 2017. I mean 18, and we're doing it. I mean,
don't they have to? It's a different year.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I'm getting at for that. I don't know. I mean, I understand both. Yeah. I understand both. It's just not that many games come out in December, so it's like that seems to be the best time, to have this this event. But I know a lot of people are honestly just tuning in for the announcements anyway. So we'll see. I don't know. But was there anything else anyone wanted to say really quick before we end this here?
I'm hungry, so we should wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you.
Check out our Twitter and our YouTube. They're both Broke Boy Gaming.
Well, this is going on YouTube.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Just check it out anyway.
Check us out on Twitter at Broke Boy Gaming,
and check out our other videos on YouTube as well. We don't just make this stuff. We make other stuff too. We make a lot of stuff. A
lot of movie reviews. If you guys are big movie fans like Devin and myself, go check those out. Because it's awesome. But I just wanted to say thank you all for coming on for this. This has been a lot of fun. Definitely more constructive than last year's 2-hour thing that we did.
Oh yeah, but, definitely.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, listening at home. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. And like I said before, follow us on Twitter at Broke Boy Gaming, and we will see you guys in the next one.
My shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space. My shiny teeth that sparkle adding beauty to my face. My shiny teeth that glisten just like a Christmas tree. They'll walk a mile just to see me smile. Woo! Shiny teeth and me. Yes, they're all so perfect.